What's up, wrestling fans? This is Ratman Rich Fulmer with your Ratt Report. I'm trying a whole new system. I was forced by my computer to download 8.1, so I'm trying a whole new system. My usual cam, it skipped around a lot. I had a whole lot of problems with it, so I'm trying something else. Good thing is I have CyberLink UCam. Let's just try it. It might work out, it might not. If not, I apologize. Just bear with me. So anyway, starting off, I want to talk about TNA being in talks with other networks. We all know, we read reports that Spike is dropping TNA. That's not necessarily true. They're in talks still. Everything that you read on the internet, don't believe. What is true, and this is an inside source that tells me this. Yeah, I have an inside source, so right there. But I won't give that up. TNA is in talks with, definitely in talks with TNT, MTV, and WGN. On a selfish note, personally, I hope it's WGN because where I live, I don't get cable. I'm a country boy. I live on a hill out in the country in the Finger Lakes region, and we don't get cable out here. We're only a mile, actually a quarter mile from town, and we don't get cable. I'm not going to get satellite because with all the trees around me, I would constantly lose signal. So we have digital antenna, and I constantly lose signal as it is, so go figure. But WGN, we do get that, and I hope that they sign with them just so I can watch them. No matter where I go, no matter where I live, I'll still be able to watch them every Wednesday night. Now, right now as it stands, I have to search the internet for it, and it sucks. But I watch it every week, and I'm a diehard, so there's no breakdancing bunnies, and I like that. Instead, we have war heroes in the ring wrestling, much like Sergeant Melendez versus DJ Z tonight, and we'll get to that in a minute. I want to say that there is talks about a silent investor. He's not going to have any control over anything that has to do with TNA. He's not going to have any say. He or she. I'm leaning towards he. I see some people say Donald Trump. Some people say Ted Turner. Or I say Ted Turner. There's people that say Vince McMahon. Some people say Smashing Pumpkins. Some people say something Billy Corgan. Wow, I'm just gonna keep going with that. But anyway, I personally think it's gonna be Ted Turner. If they're talking to TNT right now, Turner News Television, WCW was with Turner before. You know, remember Billionaire Ted's Wrestling War Room? That was funny. The Huckster, the Nacho Man. It was a good time. That was during good WWF days, but we don't have those now. Instead, we have Adam Rose. Don't be a lemon. Be a rosebud. And we see where the rosebud gets us. Break dancing bunnies. We don't see that. We see war heroes. We see knockouts kick the shit out of each other. We see knockouts choke slamming security, bouncing them off the mats outside the ring. That's what we get when we are TNA fans. And all you TNA haters out there, sit on a rock. It doesn't matter. Anyway, speaking of which, DJ Z versus Sergeant Melendez. I mean, it was an okay match, back and forth. This guy's new on the scene. He's been training. He's a Team 3D wrestling school guy. And I'm going to say, if it wasn't for Team 3D saying that he's okay to wrestle, I don't think we would have seen him. at a fast pace, I think DJZ held back a lot. But at a fast pace, I really don't think he can do it. I really don't think he could hold Caliper in the X Division. I don't think he could hold Caliper against somebody like even EY. He might be able to go against Crazy Steve, who has zero talent. I'm sorry. I've seen him wrestle in the Indies, and he was good. Then they bring him in. They bring Nux in. They bring Rebel in. And they're putting them out there. They're putting them out there to wrestle, and they're not that good. Rebel is actually training in OVW, so I see big things maybe for her. I don't think she's ready to be on the big stage. I don't think she's ready to be out there in a #1 contenders match next week. But we're gonna see it anyway. I'm not sure if you agree with me or not. But that's that. I mean, I get it. It was an eve of 9/11, and you had to have the war hero be the hero of the night. You had to have him win. I get that. But with a Samoan Slam, I don't think so. I'm sorry. I didn't see it as being believable. I'm a wrestling fan, so I'm going to put it out there straight up. I did not see that match as being believable. At a fast pace, I don't think Melendez can keep up. He's a rookie. Let's give him 5 years, and he might be able to do something in a singles match, or even as a tag team match. But that limping around he was doing on that leg, I don't know. He's got a bad wheel, man. I really don't see big things happening to him. Just going to move on from that because it's, I give him props for coming out, and I give him props for the courage. I give him props for being the guy to come out with one leg and compete. Kerry Von Erich killed himself because he had one foot later on. So let's give him props. Salute him. Way to go, dude. You did a great job. I don't think he's good enough to be in the ring right now. I think he needs a few more years of training. We all know that it takes a lot of years of training, a lot of hard work to be a professional wrestler. But I'm going to keep babbling on. So anyway, Bobby Roode comes out to a huge pop. Gets in the ring. Talks about his match next week with Bobby Lashley, which I am personally looking forward to. I'd like to see Bobby Roode win again, be world champion, because even though all of his matches, all of his wins before were kind of sketchy a little bit, Sting bopped his back of his head off the chair. He hit James Storm in the head with a bottle. He's done this, he's done that, he's won matches, but he's the he was at that time, longest reigning and defending TNA World Heavyweight Champion in history, and that says a lot. And nobody's been able to beat that yet. Bobby Lashley is current champion, he's a freaking monster. We all know that. We all know he has talent in that ring. But I'd like to see Bobby Roode get it. And out came MVP and his crew. I think Kenny King has become a stooge. Seriously. He doesn't do much. He's just kind of like, he seems to be the first one to attack every time. This time he wasn't, but he's a he's the guy that attacks from the back every single time. Whereas Lashley hit you in the face, MVP will hit you in the face, Kenny King will hit you in the back every single time. And I just think he's becoming a stooge. They talk shit on him, MVP more than Lashley doesn't talk too much, but MVP talks shit on him all the time, and it just makes him look bad. I think he should get out on his own, compete in the X Division more. Kenny King versus Samoa Joe would be a good match, I think. I'm not sure if we've seen that before. It would be a great match to see, though, for the X Division title. But that's neither here nor there. Right now he's with MVP, and he's not looking too good at all. I'm sorry. But anyway, MVP, calls Bobby Lashley Darth Vader. I get it. He's big. He's black. He's badass. It fits the demeanor. Everything but the red lightsaber and the Force powers. It's Bobby Lashley, so he doesn't need lightsabers. He's got a couple of these, and he knows how to use them. Bellator MMA. That's all I gotta say. Great matches this weekend. And we'll get to that later. A fight ensues. EY and Joe come out. Sets up for a six-man tag match. Bobby Roode hits MVP with the Roode Bomb. Gets the win. The initial attack at the beginning, I seen coming. But I honestly thought MVP and his crew was going to win that match. But Bobby Roode had to be the one that says, okay, I've got a match next week. I've got something to prove right now. And he proved it. Moving on, it was a bromance and beautiful people. I say beautiful people and bromance because DJ Z was out there and Angelina Love was out there, and they both interfered. So, and it was them versus the Menagerie and Eights. You know, the Aces and Eights, they only won one match the entire time they were in there. The storyline's way different. There's really shouldn't be any comparison, but if you look at Nux, hasn't won a match since he's been in there, maybe his first match. The whole storyline is, we all get it, his family had a circus or carnival or something like that, and all their equipment, all their ways of making money, their living had been destroyed in a flood, and now he's trying to make money to go back. But really, you make more money when you win matches. So why wouldn't they make it more believable and say, okay, we're going to have you guys win. We're going to have you guys win against the Bromans. Easy team to beat. No. I don't even know what they're doing. The Freak didn't get involved in the match hardly at all, and when he did, he got his ass handed to him. All I seen him do was flex his muscles. Really. Because Jesse flexed his muscles, and then he flexed his muscles, and then they were flexing their muscles back and forth. And then at the end, Rebel got on the ropes. I don't know what she was trying to do. She was too far away from Velvet Sky in the back. Velvet Sky's laying in the middle of the ring. Rebel's up on a corner with her leg up in the air trying to hold it. I think she's going to do like a split leg drop thing that she does. I don't know. She's in OVW training. Winning some matches there. The Menagerie just needs to go away. I seen something about, hey, do they need another person? No, they don't need them. They do not need. Put Angelina Love's freakishly skinny ass in there, and maybe you might have something interesting. At least she wins matches. I don't like the Menagerie. I roll my eyes every time I see him. I feel really bad that Crazy Steve got stuck with them, because look him up. He's got some talent, but they're just not using it right. They put Crazy Steve and Brittany, both of them, good talent, but they're not using them. They're not using them properly. Yeah, Brittany's in a number one contenders match for Knockouts title next week, but really, she stalked Madison Rayne, and now she's all googly over Sam Shaw. I wonder what he feels like inside me. I'm such a whore. Anyway, I like Brittany. I've seen her independent wrestling matches. I don't think that TNA is using her right. I don't think they're using Crazy Steve right, and I think they're putting their money in the wrong places. Rebel, you can learn how to wrestle, but don't be out there doing what a monstrosity the Menagerie has been doing. I don't know. Bromance had a thing going. They still have a thing going, and they're not all that great. But Jesse Goddard's, though, comes from OVW. Jesse Goddard's is a tag team extraordinaire. Robbie E, he's a new guy. I don't know. That match sucked. It wasn't all that great. I've seen a lot of mistakes, but I'm not a judge. So, the menagerie, aces and eights again, and that's what I call losing for the menagerie and aces and eights. It's sad to say, but they haven't won a match since they've been in TNA. First 1 or 2 matches they were in, but that's it. I'm gonna just get off of that one. The greatest part about that match was we seen Rebel's ass at the end. It was a hook. They rolled her. Velvet Sky rolled her over. Pulled the tights. We seen butt crack. And then that was it. Who misses the pigeons? I want to know that right now. Just before I close this one, who misses the pigeons? They could have let the pigeons loose. I honestly thought that they were going to. I understand. I don't want my kids to watch it. And when they come out to the ring, they get on the apron, and they do their thing. We tell the kids, turn your heads. They're at that age. We tell them turn their heads, and they don't see it. They've never seen it because we've always caught it. They've always done. They do the thing, and they come here, and then they point, and you don't want to see my backside. You're not going to see pigeons. You're going to probably see buzzards, and you might want to follow them, but I wouldn't follow them. Not those buzzards. Catching flies in his mouth. Anyway, let's just. Who misses the pigeons? I don't want to see Angelina Loves pigeons because they're probably all anorexic, and Angelina Loves needs to eat some fucking cheeseburgers, man. Some McDouble cheeseburgers, some freaking quarter fucking pounders, double quarter pounders with cheese, some gummy bears, some sour worms, sour buddies, whatever they are. But she needs to put on some weight. Anyway, Mike Tenay didn't recognize Team 3D as being 24-time tag team champions. This is what makes me angry about these big companies like this. Like ROH, they're indie, but they're also well known and they're televised every week. TNA, WWE, they don't recognize, like Michael Elgin was AIW World Heavyweight Champion and ROH World Heavyweight Champion. Kyle O'Reilly, PWG champion, but not ROH, and they don't recognize that. I understand it's a promotional thing, but I think that if you hold a belt, let's take the Young Bucks for example. 3 times they held 3 different tag team titles at the same time. And they showed them. You see pictures of them. Some promotions let that happen, and others are like, no way, I don't want no part of it. ROH tells their guys, protect that ROH title at all costs. Do not wrestle independent wrestling matches and have that title with you, because everybody knows that you're champion. Michael Elgin lost at Battle of Los Angeles, and ROH is like, what the hell? So they strip him of the title and give it to Jay Briscoe. Jay Briscoe is very much deserving of this. I will give him that. But between that incident at Battle of Los Angeles and Michael Elgin's visa being up is the reason why he's not AIW champion anymore or ROH champion anymore. He's got to get that, and that could take up to 90 days. But let's move on. Razor Ramon. Let's say Razor Ramon. Scott Hall. We all know CMLL heavyweight champion. But when he went to WWE as Razor Ramon, he got put in a Hall of Fame. They didn't recognize any of that. It's not Razor Ramon. He's Big Scott Hall. He's a Diamond Stud. He's a Cuban Assassin. He was freaking Scott Hall, this big freaking entity who, yeah, kind of ruined his career by getting into drugs and alcohol and that, and really almost ruined his life. Pretty much did ruin his life. But WWE isn't recognizing that, and this is what I'm talking about with TNA. Mike Tenay did not recognize Team 3D as being 24-time World Tag Team Champions. They just won about a month ago. They won the 2CW tag titles, which put them moved ahead. They were tied with the Road Warriors, the greatest tag team of all time. 23-time World Tag Team Champions. Dudleys are the only team to tie that, and the only team to move ahead and be 24-time Tag Team Champions. So let's say they win the series, they will be 25-time World Tag Team Champions. TNA is only going to recognize 24 belts. I don't think it's fair as far as being a fan, being if I was an indie wrestler, I'd like to if I have a belt, I want that to be recognized in the other companies that I wrestle for. Ric Flair, 22-time World Heavyweight Champion. Nobody's ever going to face that. And John Cena is 15-time World Tag Team Champion, or World Heavyweight Champion. And they're like, oh, he's so close. He's the greatest in the world. He's the greatest champion of all time. Well, when you hit 23, John Cena, you give me a call. I will root for you and say you are the greatest. But you're not. You're not. Dudleys are arguably the greatest tag team. Not hands down the greatest tag team in professional wrestling today. In the 90s, in the 80s, or in the early years of 2000s, 24-time World Tag Team Champions. Road Warriors is the only team that's ever done that. So, as a tag team, they're right here with me. And that's saying a lot because I'm a huge Road Warrior fan. Those of you out there in the groups talking about pro wrestling and indie to TNA, you guys know I'm a huge Road Warriors fan. So putting Dudley's up there with that says a lot. And I know a lot of you will agree with that. So moving right along, I wish they would recognize that. But you know what? Mike Tenay, I like him, but he's not even talking. Remember WCW days when he was the Professor Mike Tenay, when he used to talk, he used to commentate, and he used to say moves, the flying poncho, the corkscrew moonsault, the Hasai moonsault, the this and that. He just says springboards, and he doesn't say that anymore. I think that's an interpromotional thing. It could be because WCW is now owned by Vince McMahon. He says, you're not doing that. I don't care who you work for. You're not doing that anymore. Anyway, he's always going to be the Professor Mike Tenay to me. Kurt Angle called out EC3. EC3 comes in, runs his mouth, threatens Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle threatens EC3. They go back and forth. Who's tougher? Who's bigger? Who's better? This guy EC3 is just, EC3 hits. He wrestles Rhino. Comes out. Rhino's gained some weight. I think he's getting back up there to the size he was in ECW all those years ago, because he was thinned out. He did thin out quite a bit. But now it looks like he's packing on the weight again. He doesn't have a belly. He's solid. You see, if you look real closely, you see he still has the muscle tone, but he's putting on the weight again. And before in ECW, he used to gore, gore, gore. He would gore you through the house, through the walls, through the shit house, through the brick walls, into a table, into the street, paw you through the street, into China, pick you up, paw you back through and bring you back in, sit you down in your chair, and gore you again. That was Rhino. And tonight, I seen a lot of that Rhino, and I seen a lot of this new aggression that EC3 I've mentioned before. EC3 has this new aggression now, but those pink pants, you gotta go, dude. I understand he wasn't there to wrestle, he was there to fight, but I would have rather seen him wrestle in jeans than pink pants. But you know, they say it's hard to say, real men wear pink. Oh well. Anyway, I'm not even gonna comment on that one. EC3 won with the one-timer under a chair. I get it, Rhino putting over EC3, but I think he's been put over way too much. Way too much. He's been put over by Sting. He's been put over by Kurt Angle. He's been put over by Bully Ray, Tommy Dreamer. I think that's enough for putting him over. Come on now. Really? I think Rhino can destroy EC3 any day of the week, any time of the day. That's it. Hey, I want to give a shout out. Forget about that. I'm going to give a shout out to those guys in the back. So you're looking at this, right? And you see this line of guys in the back. There's like 4 of them, I think. And they were dressed. One had a hat on and a wig and glasses. Another one had blonde hair, wig, and glasses, and the winged belt. The winged belt was cool because that was an old WWE belt, the old WWF belt. I had to correct myself. That was cool. But you know what? You guys showed persona just being there. Just being there. I enjoyed watching you guys out in the back. You guys chanted. You guys screamed. You guys put on a persona better than the Menagerie. And you know what? You could have came in and you could have wrestled the Menagerie. And it would have been a better match than what they had. They actually had with the Bromans. And you probably would have won. So, amateur, no talent guys who have never been in the ring before. I'm sure you've never been in the ring before. But who am I to know? I don't know. But you could have gotten in the ring. You could have wrestled the Menagerie. And you could have won. No names. Victorious. It would have been a better match than David Arquette winning the WCW title. But who am I? It still would have been no breakdancing bunny. I just keep throwing that out there. So anyway, I want to give you guys a shout out. Way to go. I loved it. Knockouts come out to the ring to reveal the who's going to be the cover girl of the new Knockouts calendar. And it ends up being, I thought it was going to be Brooke Tessmacher, who wasn't even there. I don't even know. You know, I was taking notes. I was hoping it would be Brooke Tessmacher over the rest of them. But it wasn't. Instead, it was Velvet Sky, which kind of pissed off Angelina Cheeseburger needing love. I don't see those two, the BPs, being together much longer. We've seen that for the past few weeks now, where they have been kind of butting heads a little bit. But in the situation, in the celebration, oh yay, I won, I'm gonna be out there on a magazine cover, and you guys are gonna see me on the inside with everybody else. It's gonna be awesome, because everything is awesome. And then Havoc comes out, and Brittany got choke slammed. Freaking Gail Kim went after her. Gail Kim got choke slammed, beat up, ripped right through her, took her belt, went into the back. Gail Kim goes into the back, chasing her down. They fight in the back. They come out and they fight in the front. They fight out all the way out to ringside. Brittany got choke slammed. I already said that. Everybody else, the rest of the knockouts just kind of stood there. And later on, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit. I'm just excited about Havoc being there. That's pretty much sums it up. Havoc threw one security guard and then chokeslammed another. And I'm going to say this: amateur wrestlers, collegiate wrestlers out there, you know those mats that you guys wrestle on are only like yay thick. And yes, they're soft. They're soft for a reason. But you also know that when you get thrown, it hurts. It hurts. I'm going to tell you. I've been thrown on one of those. I've done it. It hurts. Hurts like hell. Especially when you're choke slam and slam down and you bounce. That hurts. And that's what happened to the other security guard. And Havoc, I would like to see Havoc versus Gail Kim for the Knockouts title. I would like to see Gail Kim put Havoc over and have Havoc as the Knockouts champion, because who's going to beat her? Not Angelina Love. She needs to eat some cheeseburgers if she dares beat anybody. Not Rebel. She needs another 10 years. Not Velvet Sky. Maybe Gail Kim can come back in. Taryn Terrell's pretty tough, but I don't see Taryn Terrell doing it. I would like to see Brittany, but TNA isn't using Brittany too good. So then that would set up for more knockouts coming in. Hey man, Cowgirl Kissy. I would like to see Miss Dyslexia. I'd like to see Alpha Female come back, which Alpha Female and Havoc have had their match before, and Havoc won. And I'd like to see that. I'd like to see a lot of other ones. Mia Yim, I'd like to see her come in. And, you know, I'd like to see the Knockouts division grow, just like I'd like to see the X division grow. I'd like to see more titles. I'd like to see the tag team belts on somebody who, like, they're on the Wolves now and they're good, really good tag team, and I'd like for that to continue. I'll get into the tag team feud later. Manic, we see Manic tied up, cuts away, shows Storm. I always have to waddle my head when I do that. And then James Storm comes up, walks into the barn. Looks like the same barn that Sanada was tied up in. And you see Manic. And he's like, "Are you ready?" And then he says, "Get out." And you see him as he's on the camera to get away, and the camera kind of goes away. You see him pulling the mask off of Manic. I almost said TJ Perkins, because we know it's TJ Perkins. I'm curious to know, is he going to be TJ Perkins, or is he going to be Manic as TJ Perkins, or is it going to be TJ Perkins as Manic? Because we know it's the same person. Is he going to have a mask or not the mask? Is he going to come out with the suit, not the mask? Or is he going to be, is the mask going to be fancy, where it shows his face, kind of like Big Van Vader had his mask, was just kind of wires or whatever, straps on it. Conan, early Conan had a mask. Nothing like Great Muda's mask, or maybe it could be like Abyss's mask. Not that way, but same kind of style where you see his face, but you don't see his face. You get me? You follow me? But I want to know whatever happened to Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson and James Storm feud. Don't you remember about a month ago at the bar, they had that bar fight, they got drunk, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so drunk, I'm so drunk, guess what, this is no near beer, it's not really alcoholic," and they fight back and forth. Actually, Anderson kicks the shit out of a drunk James Storm. Whatever happened to that? They kind of dropped it. I don't know. It ended up going back to the Samuel Shaw thing. I don't know. Samuel Shaw and Brittany, I think they would make a good couple. I just want to throw that out there because that was in there tonight. Oh, I wonder what he would feel like inside me. Listen, Brittany is a great talent. I'm not going to deny it. But TNA is really making her look like a fool. Seriously. Sam Shaw the same way. Great talent, making him look like a fool. I don't like gimmicks like that, like where they make the guy, look really, really bad. I don't like it. I'm just going to throw that out there. They advertised Bellator MMA. For those of you who are into that, like myself, Bobby Lashley and King Mo both wrestled, or both fought, whatever. And they both won their matches. In exciting matches. I think I posted some of them in the groups, Indie to TNA, and talking about pro wrestling. I'm not sure how much of it I know I posted the links to them. For those of you who watched it, great. If not, Taz complimented the announcers who actually really did do a great job at differentiating and explaining the lifestyles and the conditioning of both professional wrestlers and MMA fighters. And Bobby Lashley is a crossover. King Mo is going to be a crossover. Dan the Beast Severn, Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, Ken Shamrock, Tank Abbott. The list goes on, and these guys have all been successful in this crossover, in this transition. So I think King Mo has potential. He was a damn good fighter. He did a damn good job last week at the Bellator MMA fights. Let's see what happens. We'll move on to the main event now. This is where we're at. Tag team tables match. 3D Team 3D versus the Hardys versus the Wolves. The 3D, I just want to throw this out there. Team 3D tried the Doomsday device, and it was a sloppy. I've seen them do it better. I have seen them do it better. Nobody does it like the freaking Road Warriors do it. That's it. I don't care what anybody says. That Doomsday device was terrible. But it was a really good match all in all. Tables were busted all over the place. Bodies flying all over. People hitting tables. People kicking tables. People getting hit with tables. People going through tables. And I predicted it last week. The week before last, I'm sorry. Go back through and see. I predicted it. The Hardys were going to win this match. And next week, I'm predicting that the Wolves are going to win the ladder match. And then the series is going to continue, and the Wolves are going to win. That's my predictions. Next two matches are going to belong to the Wolves. Wolves are going to win the ladder match next week. And then the final match is going to be the Wolves. They're going to pick theirs. What kind of a match it's going to be? It could be Elevation X match, which would be really awesome, or it could be Ultimate X match, which would be awesome. It'd be funny to see Bully Ray and Devon trying to go out of those cables, try to get those tag belts. I think they'll just set up a table and stand on that and make it easy for everybody else, but I really don't know. I'm not going to predict the kind of the style of match it's going to be, but I know it's going to be good. The Hardys won tonight. Put one of the Wolves through the table with the Swanton on the outside. It was an awesome match. The fans loved it. I loved it. The wife loved it. The kids weren't here, but the neighbor loved it, and he lives next door and didn't watch it. But TNA is on a roll still. Next week, they're going to start taping in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I'm from Pennsylvania, but this is not my backyard, more like my side yard. Bethlehem is east side. I was from west side. Pittsburgh! Steelers! Pittsburgh! Penguins! Pittsburgh! I really don't care about the rest of the teams. I'm not a Pirates fan at all. I'm a Red Sox fan. Sorry, Spanky Yankee fans. That's who I am. I'm an asshole. You're not. Next week is going to be Still at the Hammerstein Ballroom. It's going to be number one contenders match for the Knockouts title. It's going to be Taryn Terrell versus Madison Rain versus Brittany Samuel Shaw versus Havoc and versus Angelina Love versus Velvet Sky. And I think my predictions, I would like to see Havoc win, which I predict Havoc's going to win, and I also predict the implosion of the beautiful people. They're not going to be together after next week because Velvet Sky is going to go for a pin, and Angelina Love's going to be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing there? No, this is all about me. Like it's always been about me." That's what I think of when I see Angelina Love flipping out like that. And vice versa with Velvet Sky is going to stop her. Hey, it's every knockout for herself. You never want to be a tag team partner in a match when it's all about who's going to win. The Wolves, we've seen them wrestle for the in X Division matches, and we've seen them slug it out at the top of the ladder before. It's nothing personal. It's all about business. It's all about the gold. It's all about this. It's all about the win. Next week, it's going to be the same exact thing. And we're going to see Bobby Roode versus Bobby Lashley for the World Heavyweight title. Finally, I can't wait. I predict Bobby Lashley winning, though I want to see Bobby Roode win. This is no surrender. This is World Heavyweight title match. This is going to be number one contenders match. It's going to be big. Homicide versus Samoa Joe X Division match. That's one match that I'm looking forward to. It's going to be huge. Huge event next week. Don't miss it. Spike TV, Wednesday nights. Comment and subscribe below. Don't be afraid. And come check us out. Indie to TNA and talking about pro wrestling. Two of the greatest groups ever. Anywhere. I don't care where you go. We're the greatest group out there. Indie to TNA, talking about pro wrestling. Check us both out. Until next week, fans. See ya.